What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, ladies and gentlemen, it is here. Blood Hunt issue number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this massive new Marvel crossover event is officially upon us, and it is about to go down. Oh my God, this issue is absolutely insane. And I don't know if you like to eat snacks before these things, or sip on a little something, or hell, even smoke on a little something. But whatever it is, you probably gonna want to grab that right now, because this one here might make your head explode, folks. So if you guys are ready for this new Marvel event, where more than likely your favorite Marvel character just might bite it, pun intended, because there will be blood. So much blood. Then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So it was almost 2 months ago now when Marvel released a preview special issue for Blood Hunt. And in it, we got to see a little bit of the beginning of the event. Plus, we got the opportunity to get introduced to the deadly new group called the Blood Coven, a super-powered vampire group strong enough to match strength with Earth's mightiest heroes. And this deadly vampire faction is led by Bloodstorm 1, who's a clone of Dracula created by Hydra. So make sure y'all keep that in y'all minds. But it all starts when all of the Dark Force users begin to lose control of their powers. And I mean all of the Dark Force users. Cloak, Darkstar, Silhouette, Dusk. And spoiler alert, because I know we have been doing the Vengeance of the Moon Knight series, and I've been very far behind on that, and I promise I'm going to catch that back up. But this, of course, is a spoiler alert for that, because in last issue last month, the identity was revealed of the Moon Knight imposter, and the identity was revealed to be none other than Shroud, another Dark Force user. And ladies and gentlemen, even he becomes victim to what is being called Sun Death. It takes a little more than 12 minutes for Sun Death to happen, as all the Dark Force users begin dispersing Dark Force energy that starts to blacken out the skies, blocking out the sun. And it's at complete Sun Death when we get these words: "This is how the world ends. This is my work. This has always been my work. And after so very long, I will complete it." Now, we don't yet know who those words come from, but they sound pretty damn important. But then we pick up with the Avengers, who, if you had seen my last video for the Avengers issue number 13, they had noticed Sun Death from their impossible city in orbit over the Earth. And I'm gonna make sure I put a card at the top of the screen for you right now so you can check that issue out if you haven't already. But now they're on the ground on the Earth trying to determine the cause of this event. And as Iron Man radios to Scarlet Witch from in the air to find out if she sees anything better than the bad he's noticing, she comes in contact with one of the Dark Force users known as Blackout, just as his body fully dissipates into more of the darkness in the skies. Apparently, he had been robbing a bank and just exploded in the Dark Force energy. And Iron Man is getting similar reports from around the world, leading Scarlet Witch to come to the conclusion that all Dark Force users have become portals to the Dark Force dimension. And Iron Man thinks that maybe Scarlet Witch could maybe use her magic to close all of the portals. But she tells him that that'd be like trying to punch out Galactus. This is an entire dimension's energy forcing its way into our own for multiple breaches, she tells him. Then we pick up with Hunter's Moon and Tigra from the Midnight Mission. And as they were in the middle of fighting with Shroud after he had been revealed to be the Moon Knight imposter. And just like what Scarlet Witch saw, these two look on as Shroud turns into pure Dark Force energy, blacking out the sky. And Tigra notices that this is happening all over the world. And Hunter's Moon notices that it's also blocking out the moon. This definitely isn't an accident, he says. It's an attack as they look up and a horde of vampires comes descending down from the sky. Blood Hunt, ladies and gentlemen, it's on. And all over the world, the vampires run rampant. Milan, Italy, Lagos, Nigeria, Calgary, Canada, China, Colombia, South Korea, all experienced these massive sun death massacres. Then we pick up with these two guys that are running for their lives. And as they approach this border, one of the guys is like, we can't trespass. Not there. But the other guy tells them that they got no choice. They're being chased by a couple of vampires, so they take the lesser of two evils. And they cross this border, and as the vampires try to cross behind them, they burst into flames. And we find out that this is the border to Latveria. As Doom looks on, and he tells his subject at his side that Latveria's borders are secure. Now ensure that Doom's new subjects are attended to. Doom's ready for the smoke, y'all. Then we pick up in Brooklyn, about an hour into sun death, and Miles Morales' Spider-Man is using his Venom Blast sword to fight off vamps. And just as he asks, what would Blade do? That's exactly who walks out. Blade. That is a good question, isn't it? Blade says to him. Things are looking bad, Spider-Man, but I've got a plan. And it's not just down to what I do. I've got something I need you to do. Then we pick back up with the Avengers. And as they all fight off hordes of vampires, they each try to figure out who could be behind this. And Thor doesn't know, Captain Marvel doesn't know, nor Black Panther. But Vision suggests that, from what he's assessed, Dracula is currently unaccounted for. But Cap doesn't think this feels like Dracula. He's put a lot of work into founding his vampire nation. Pulling something like this is outside of his trajectory. Then who could it be, Scarlet Witch asks. But then an alert comes in to the Avengers, a priority alert. And they're like, who is this? And the voice tells them that it's exactly who you want it to be on a day like today. This is Blade. Yes, sir, y'all. Blade is that dude. I'm a huge fan of Blade, y'all, since back in the Wesley Snipes days. And I can't wait to see Mahershala Ali play the role in the MCU. But knowing that Blade was going to be a big part of this series is one of the main reasons I've been so hyped for this event. But he's racing through the city in a big ass truck, and he tells the Avengers that he's on the run and he has information. We need to meet. Lock onto my coordinates and teleport this rig up to the Impossible City. Meet me there. Blade out. So we've seen Blade pull up on Miles Morales, and now he's about to meet up with the Avengers. So he must be putting together a nice little vampire team, I guess, right? So Iron Man's on board with the plan, and he has the city lock in on that truck for teleport. Then he calls the Avengers home, as long as none of them object. And they don't object, although they acknowledge that they don't really have time to be leaving this battle, so they better make it quick. Because Thor's rage is endless, and an endless number of foes upon which to slake it appeals to him. So Blade's truck comes teleporting into the city, still at full speed. And as it comes to a stop, they call out to Blade, asking him what's going on. But then there's a loud noise that starts to ring out, and it begins to pierce and hurt the ears of all the Avengers. And then a voice tells them that the Daywalker couldn't make it. But thank you for inviting us in, Avengers. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce you guys to the Blood Coven. As they step out of the back of the truck, and their leader Bloodstorm 1 is the first one to speak, as he tells the Avengers that his warriors have been waiting for this. Then he begins to order his team into battle like a general. Megrim, maintain the psychic static. Cruel and unusual, take the witch first. Damascene, the thunder god. Smoke Eater, on me. But Smoke Eater is the first to maybe show a little bit of dissension here when he tells Bloodstorm 1 to watch his tone. He only takes orders from the master. But Bloodstorm 1 reminds him that he's in charge of the Blood Coven, and he's gonna fall in line. He doesn't care how much crematoria smoke he's inhaled. And we were told in the preview by the artist Pepe Larraz that the idea with Smoke Eater is that he inhales ghosts to acquire their strength in combat and becomes the sum of multiple beings, hence the limbs, and making him one of the heavy hitters on this team. And he and Bloodstorm 1 take on Black Panther and Captain America first. Then it's Unusual who gets into the head of the Scarlet Witch. Meanwhile, Thor is left shocked when he's cut by Damascene, who's then told by Bloodstorm 1 that Damascene can cut anything, Asgardian flesh, or intangible synthezoid molecules, and he fires a dagger straight through Vision. Then Iron Man tries to take a stand, but he's met with Cruel, and now Stark can feel these barbed wire tentacles inside of his suit as he's wrapped up and pulled down to the ground. Ah, so much delicious pain already. So invigorating, Cruel says to Iron Man. And so much more to come when I strip you out of that metal shell. Meanwhile, Megrim tortures Captain Marvel through her mind, while Smoke Eater comes in and smashes her head to the ground. Then he tells her that Cruel eats pain, Unusual eats magic, I eat spirits, Megrim eats thoughts, and leaves only agony. Then we pick up with Captain America, Sam Wilson, and he's now fighting Bloodstorm 1 one-on-one. But B1 tells Captain he's the one he particularly wants. You'll be a fine prize for the Master when I turn you. You'll be our symbol then, and your species will weep. But Black Panther comes to Sam's aid with a spear, causing B1 to toss Cap to the side, while Thor and Wanda just get abused. And Unusual tells Wanda that her chaos magic is like nothing he's ever tasted. And now the Avengers are all just beaten down, and Iron Man's suit is warning him of his compromised integrity. Meanwhile, a stabbed up and beaten Thor stands to his feet and tells Damascene that you may cut me, monster, but you cannot turn me, and you cannot kill me. But Cruel turns around and tells Thor that killing him would be a waste. They want to keep him, as Thor takes a dagger to the dome, y'all, and goes down. Then B1 stalks his prey and says that the Master will be pleased. A good first outing, my lovely Blood Coven. As now all of the Avengers are down, T'Challa as a last resort calls out for the city to prepare for dimension shift. But the city can't, because Cruel has found out that even a city can feel pain, and he's eating the city's pain now. Sheesh. As Cap tells T'Challa that it looks like these guys have thought of everything. T'Challa tells him not quite, and he calls for the city to begin emergency evacuation, beginning with Captain America. And as the city begins to take Cap, he screams out no to T'Challa, who runs at Bloodstorm 1, who's now pissed that the Black Panther has taken away his prize. And he puts his hand right through T'Challa. And as the remaining Avengers, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, and Vision, look on at their fallen soldiers, Black Panther and Thor, as they're being beamed away by the city, Black Panther, with his last breath, tells the Coven that he can't let them have the symbol, because the world will need a symbol. As Bloodstorm 1 roars out in anger. Then we move over to Bleecker Street as someone approaches. And inside, Stephen and Clea Strange are searching through spells, and Clea feels the need to be out there right now helping. But Stephen lets her know that if they can assemble the Montesi formula, then all this ends immediately. A spell to kill every vampire on Earth. Good trick, Doc, says Blade as he walks into the room. But you need the Darkhold for that, don't you? He asks. And last I heard, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, had eaten the Darkhold. But on a day like today, Stephen and Clea are happy to see Blade. Then Stephen asks him what's going on. And Blade tells him that it's a vampire uprising. We've all tangled with vampires before, but this is different. This time they're organized. One big push to break humanity. Put the blood drinkers on top. They call themselves the Structure, a vampire cult that was spreading across the world before Moon Knight killed their leader. But they found a new leader, one with a plan. One, using antediluvian Atlantean rituals to detonate Dark Force users and turn them into portals to block out the sun. Two, global uprisings, mobilizing legions of mass-turned maniacs all across the globe, striking at population centers, critical infrastructure, the like. And three, taking out the Avengers. And Stephen and Clea are like, the Avengers? No chance. But Blade tells them that there's a kill squad ultra vampires, fed on superhuman blood, empowered by divergent philosophies of feeding on pain or ghosts or magic. The Blood Coven is a match for the Avengers. Believe me. Or was a match, I guess. This isn't conjecture. The Avengers are down. So now Strange acknowledges that it's even more important then for them to get this formula together. So now Blade's like, you do that? Kill every vampire on Earth? Even though some of them are on your side? But we all know how Strange gets down, y'all. And he tells Blade that he is a doctor. If he has to cut away a limb to save the patient, he'll do it. He'll accept his own damnation to save his patient or his world. And Blade's like, impressive. He already knew that Wanda would never cast a spell to exterminate an entire people. It's not in her. But he wasn't quite sure about Strange. But then Strange asks Blade about the new leader of the structure that he had mentioned. Who is this mastermind, he asks. Is it Dracula? But Blade responds, no, nothing like that. Then he asks Strange, do you want to know who put out the sun? Who released the children of the night? Who assembled the monsters who killed the Avengers? The leader of the structure? It's me. And then Blade drives his blade right through the back of Doctor Strange. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, I hope y'all ready for this insane new event. Because that is how it kicks off. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how this first issue ends. Jeez, oh my God. Are your minds blown yet? How hyped are you guys for this event? And how badass is that new Blood Coven? They about to be a problem, y'all. They straight wiped out the Avengers. And Blade, y'all, what the hell was that? Blade is the leader? Oh my God, I'm not really fully sure how to process this. Somebody help me out. Sheesh, it's on. And y'all already know I want to hear all y'all best conspiracy theories in the comments of what you guys think is going on here. Maybe Blade is under a spell or something. What you think? But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you could do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking up some of this dope merchandise, as well as downloading you a copy of this background music heard right here in this video, or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership, and there'll be a link in the description to join as well as visit the store. But with your membership, you'll gain access to weekly interactive live streams with yours truly, where we could talk about everything that's been going down in these issues, as well as ones that you'd like for me to go over in the future and other comic book news. Plus, you guys will get loyalty badges, member shoutouts, and up to 20% off of Comics Icon's merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And now we've got new tiers to the memberships as well, ladies and gentlemen, starting at just 99 cents. Now, how's that for an easy way to help out and support the channel? Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do either of those, then you can still be a huge help to the future of this channel, ladies and gentlemen, by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out.